Now, guys, let me state this. If you know that you are coming to the UK and you are going to be paying for certificate of sponsorship, kindly advise yourself. This is a sisterly advice I'm giving you. I feel like sometimes we are given opportunities and we use our own hands to destroy these beautiful opportunities that we have been given. And a wise man once said that opportunity comes but once. For people like me, the United Kingdom gave me the opportunity to come in as a skilled worker under the health and care visa. Under this visa, I've been able to bring my beautiful family into the United Kingdom where we are enjoying our life, peace and quiet. Here, everybody is minding their business. So life is beautiful and it's a masterpiece if you are that kind of person that wants to keep your life out of people's business. Fortunately, in 2022, which was somewhere early last year, the United Kingdom added the health and care visa or the healthcare assistance visa onto the shortage occupation list, which meant that if you wanted to come to the UK as a healthcare assistant, you could come in, and this visa also gave you equal opportunities just like any other professional, which was a brilliant opportunity because the entry requirement or whatever it took to get onto this visa was mind-blowing. You didn't need much of, a background, a health background. You didn't need any much of high IELTS. You just needed some basic qualification really and basic knowledge in English to be able to move into the UK. This visa program started very, very well on a good note up until somewhere last year, September, when everything began to go sour. So those that came into the UK from early this year, 2023 to date, have either fallen into the hands of scammers or have been asked to leave the UK. This is a shameful reality that I didn't see us coming to a point like this where people have to be forced to leave the UK. Mind you, the UK is not a country where they can just barge into an office space or somewhere just to search into documents. But now decision-making bodies do not have any choice than to do this, and it is causing deportation spree here in the UK. Sometimes when you hear things that are happening, even you at the background, you feel like this is overdue. I think this should have been done a long, long time ago because it is tarnishing the reputation of the United Kingdom. Some years back, if you said that you are moving to the UK from overseas, it was a big flex. It was a cruise. Everybody would have been happy and congratulating you because they knew that you have put in a lot of effort. You have been diligent to get to that status. But now, since the introduction of scammers, I'm sorry to say, but since the introduction of people who were bringing people who were not qualified for jobs that they were being given or jobs that did not exist, it has caused a lot of friction in the migration system or even in the life of immigrants. Now, when you go places and you are an immigrant, everybody is looking over their shoulder and questioning your credibility. It's such a shame. I'm going to read an email which has a lot of details of things that the UK Home Office is now asking people who are applying for visa on health and care visas as healthcare assistants, documents or extra supporting documents that they are being asked. Originally, we all know that once you've got your certificate of sponsorship, you can sit at the comfort of your home and apply for your visa to come to the UK to work. But guess what? Now the story is no longer the same. They are now asking for extra supporting documents. That is why we keep telling people that do not apply for a job or do not pay money to get a job in the United Kingdom. Otherwise, it's two things. You stand the risk of deportation after you've come into the UK, or you stand the risk of being banned. I personally know somebody whose wife has been banned 10 years from entering the United Kingdom. 10 years, she can no longer enter the United Kingdom. And when it gets to that level, your name is already in the system as somebody who has been banned from the UK. Up to 10 years, the system does not forget. So you can no longer make a successful visa application into the UK. And that can subsequently affect your visa application to other parts of the world. Guys, there are nasty things that have been going on since the inception of this healthcare assistance visa in the UK. There are a lot of people who are now homeless. People have come to the UK without jobs. Some are sleeping outside. People are going even the extra mile of offering their bodies to get shifts, to get work to do, because they have sold family properties. They are here in the UK. And guess what? You might be thinking that it is only happening maybe in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Kenya. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in the Philippines. It's happening in India. It's happening in Pakistan. It's happening in Nepal. It's happening everywhere that this system has been introduced to. People are being duped every day, day in, day out. And guess what is happening? The Care Quality Commission is knocking on the homes of random care homes to search or to conduct searches. And once this home is found not to be credible, that home is immediately shut down. So what is going to happen is that if this home has given you a sponsorship visa or a sponsorship letter, once that home is closed down, you as a visa holder, you only have 60 days to legally remain in the UK. Otherwise, you face deportation. And because the pressure is becoming worse, I don't know how many people can get a visa in 60 days now in the UK. It used to be very common. You know, if you're a healthcare assistant and you want to switch, it was that easy. But now, I don't know how possible that is. And people have been forced to face deportation. I personally know some care homes that have been closed down, care homes that have been barged into to conduct thorough searches. My personal care home where I worked was visited by CQC without any prior notice, and fortunately nothing was found. So if you're a care home owner, or if the care home owner does not put measures in place to make sure that the right thing was done, it means that you as a worker, your safety is not secured. I mean, your visa status is not secured. I'm going to be reading the questions that are now being asked by the UK Home Office to health and care or health assistant visa applicants so that you are well informed. And guess what? If they give you this email or this letter, you are only given up to 10 days to provide all of these documents that they are asking you. And the reason why I'm doing this video is that it might happen to you. So just get all these facts ready, especially if you know that you were applying for this job or you have applied for the job genuinely. This will help you to gather your documents ready so that once you are asked, you can provide them. All these things that they are doing is to sieve out the good from the bad. They know, Home Office is aware, it's no longer news that people have come into the UK through documentations that were not properly done. People have passed through the backyard to do things that they were not originally supposed to do, or which is destroying the credibility of the United Kingdom. And so now tougher and tighter measures are being put in place. So this is from a very credible source, from one of the recent visa applicants who was applying to work in the UK on a health and care visa or on a healthcare assistant visa. And after doing a successful application, even with the certificate of sponsorship, the Home Office still wrote to this person to request these about 7 documents in addition to all that this person has already provided. Okay. So it says that the UK Decision Making Centre is currently assessing the applications submitted by the above named. We are unable to conclude the application at this time as we require additional information. Please provide the following documents. 1. Certificate of qualifications that relate to your role that you are applying for under your COS. So this person was applying for healthcare assistant role, and they're asking, what qualification do you have that matches the job that you are applying for? Submit all those qualifications to us, whether it is a secondary school leaver qualification, bachelor's, master's, nursing, midwifery, whatever qualification you have, submit it to them. Number 2, previous experience in the role you are applying for under your COS. So they're asking that what previous experience do you have in that role? It should be similar role, that's what they believe. So what experience do you have in that particular role that you're applying for? What previous experience have you got already? You should be able to state the number of years and evidence it So you're not just saying it with evidence. Everything is evidence based, and you have to put them on a PDF file and submit them to a specific email that they will send you in addition to this, email when it is sent to you. Number three, evidence of how you have applied for this role. So where did you see the job being advertised? Did you see the job advertised on Indeed? Was it advertised on Track? Was it advertised? That is why we are telling people to use credible sources. If you use an agency, or if you used an agent that scammed you and took money from backdoor, and that agent is lost and is gone, that is your end. You can't provide any evidence. So you know that when you have applied for a job genuinely on Indeed, on Track, on LinkedIn, wherever, you can screenshot that job advert and say that, yes, this is why I found the job. And when you are doing the visa application or the job interview and stuff, they usually email you. They keep you updated from time to time. You can add all those screenshots that, oh, yes, I was called for interview and all of those. But like, where did you find the job? That is what they want to know. So take a screenshot of where you found that job advert and add it for them. The next thing is evidence of how you have applied for this role. What was the evidence? Did you fill an online form? Did you submit supporting statement? Did you submit, how did you apply for the job? Basically, how did you go about the application? So if you really did it genuinely, you are going to have an email to say that, oh, this job you are due for, whatever. Every evidence that is relating to your application for the job. And if you do not know this, start preparing from now. If you're applying for a job, take screenshots, evidence. UK is a country that like evidence based. Everything should be evidence. So take evidence of wherever you found the job and how you are applying for the job, okay? Next question is, were you interviewed for this role? If so, how was the interview conducted? Was the interview via Zoom? Was it via Teams? Was it via Skype? I remember when I was coming to UK, my interview was via Skype. And that is what most professional, employers do. Either it's via Skype or via Zoom. Or if you are coming from overseas, obviously you can't have it face-to-face. It is via one of these online systems. You have to evidence that. Usually if they're sending you a link to that interview, they'll send you an email with the link, the code, the password and all that. Screenshot that and put it in a PDF file and add it to your supporting evidences. The next is evidence of your work address in the UK, which obviously if you've got a genuine COS, that job address is going to be on the COS. And also you have to authenticate your COS, because guess what? If you've got a fake COS and you use that fake COS to apply for a visa, there is no excuse for that. You are standing the risk of being banned from entering the UK for the next 10 years. Next is evidence of where you will be residing in the UK. When you come to the UK, where are you going to be staying? Because a good employer who knows that you do not know anybody in a foreign land where you are coming definitely makes provisions for your accommodation. They are going to help you to source out accommodation. When I was coming from overseas, the NHS that brought me gave me a 2-bedroom flat, and I had details of all, my flat number, everything, where I can get my key, where my key was kept, who was going to give me my key, the name of the person, the contact details, if you are struggling, who to call. Everything was sent to me by email. So let your employers give you something like that. If you are coming in genuinely to work with them, let them source out accommodation, because the Home Office can now ask you to evidence that and to give address for that accommodation that you are providing. Next thing is, do you have any friends or family in the UK? If so, provide their full details and relationship with you. At first, this question used to be for people who are coming on a visit, who are applying for a visit visa. They will ask you, who are you going to be living with? I remember when I was applying for my parents' visa, they asked, who are you going to be living with? What's the person's relationship with you? What is the evidence that the person can, house you and look after you whilst you are still in the UK? I remember when I was applying for my kids, also they asked, obviously because they are minors, they are children, they asked how is the care and reception of these children going to be maintained whilst they're in the UK. You should be able to evidence all this. Now they are asking, do you have any relative or friends in the UK? Do you have somebody that you're going to be falling on, you're going to be staying with? I don't really know why they're asking this question, but this is what they are asking. And the last question on that list is to provide evidence of your certificate of sponsorship, which obviously, if you have been given a job, which is a genuine job with a genuine company, you should be able to evidence this as well. What is happening is that now, even the genuine companies that have got the sponsorship license are getting scared of employing people from overseas, which is the genuine truth. Because their fear is that if they give you the job and probably your documentation and things were not on point, and you come in and CQC badges on them and they find a problem or something wrong and they cannot explain that, and that company is shut down just because of one overseas health worker that they employed, it's putting a lot of employers in a limbo. They don't really know whether or not they're going to be employing from overseas. And it's such a big shame because, I mean, this opportunity, I was thinking that it will get to a point where the UK, in their own way or out of, at their own time, will say that we feel like we have come to an end. We need, or we've gotten the number of overseas healthcare workers, overseas, people that we need. And we want to say thank you to everybody. And we've closed this program. Now they are being forced due to political reasons, obviously, and due to the fact that human beings have used our own hands to destroy something that was used or that was meant to be for the benefit of everybody. Such a big shame, honestly, but people are being deported every day in, day out. And what happens is that, let's say you were 10 people in one company, yeah? And person A, all of you have been scammed. You came into the UK. So person A realized that it was a scam and he or she decided to look for a job elsewhere. When person A looked for the job and switched onto that new job, he reports to Home Office to say that this particular company has scammed all of us. At that time, he has already left the company, leaving the 9 of you still in the company. Now, when the Home Office sends CQC to come in, to barge into the home to search for whatever they are looking for, and they find that the remaining 9 do not have jobs and they don't have shifts and they don't have whatever. And the home is closed down. The 9 of you stand a risk of being deported. Because if you don't get onto the visa in the next 60 days, then you don't know your fate. So now the employers that know what they did, those that they know what they did, they have begun to tell their workers to start looking for a switch. If you know you are in this position, start looking for a switch. And when you're looking for a switch, Home Office has the right to ask you these questions that I've read for you to evidence it. So keep all these evidences safe so that when you are asked within 10 days, you can provide them to be able to successfully switch your visas. At this point, I don't know what to say again. I don't know, because I feel like we've gotten to the height of this and a lot of things have been triggered and a lot of things are going to be happening based on these things. But just be careful out there. Don't apply for any job. If anybody is asking you to pay a dime, do not pay. A job in the UK is absolutely for free. I know we have been brainwashed. Some people have been brainwashed to think that getting a job in UK is no longer free. You must pay. You mustn't pay anything to anybody to get a job in the UK. It is absolutely for free. You pay any money to anybody at your own risk, because guess what? If they bring you into the UK and they leave you stranded and destitute and the law catches up with you, do not say you were not informed. I wish you all the very best in your transitioning from your home country, and let's just try to do the right thing so that we do not have to put ourselves and our loved ones at any risk or in any form of danger or situation. Thank you so much for watching this video, as always, for constantly coming back to the channel, and until we meet again in my next video, guys, bye bye.